welcome back to Algebra 1. Our goal for today is to continue working with our simplifying rational expressions when it requires us to have to factor polynomial expressions. So please remember that simplifying a rational number just means we are simplifying a number written as a fraction. And the way to simplify fractions is to cancel common factors on the top and the bottom. So when we have just numbers, we write prime factorization, we cancel the ones that are the same. When we have numbers with variables, again, we want to write out that prime factorization, cancel the things that are the same on the top and the bottom. When we have square roots, we want to simplify to their prime factors and cancel until we have what's on the top and the bottom, right? We're taking those same steps now when we have a polynomial expression on the top and a polynomial expression on the bottom. We need to factor and find the ones that match. We eliminate the ones that match and see what's left over. That will be the simplified fraction version. So yesterday we did the first three together. So picking up from there in our notes with number 4. I want to simplify m squared minus 7m minus 30 over an m squared minus 5m minus 24. All right, so break it apart. M squared minus our 7m minus our 30. We got to go through our factoring process for that. And m squared minus 5m minus 24. Now, these are both quadratics. Yesterday, we looked at most of the problems we've done so far. One of the two was linear, which means all we could do was GCF. But these are both quadratics, which means both of them we have to check for GCF and our chart. So just be careful. Make sure you factor them completely before you put them back into their fraction to see which ones they have in common. So m squared minus 7m minus 30 does not have a GCF. So we're going to start to guess and check. We need things for negative 30 that give us a negative 7m. So our magic combo here, hopefully we're getting at the point where we're getting pretty good at these, would be a negative 10m plus 3m. But again, if I need to go off to my scratch paper and do that little guess and check chart, do it, right? All right, now we're ready for our chart here. M squared, negative 10m. Ooh, this guy's negative. I'm going to put that out there just to remind myself that one's got to be negative in the end. All right, top row, m squared and negative 10m both share an m. Bottom row here, 3m and negative 30 both share a3. So one of our factors here is an m plus 3. I do the same thing with your columns. This m squared and 3m both share an m, and negative 10m and negative 30 a negative 10. So m minus 10 here. All right, this whole thing is going to go back and be our numerator. So we got to do that same thing now for our denominator. M squared minus 5m minus 24, again, is quadratic. We need to check for GCF and chart. In this case, all three terms don't have a common factor, so our chart would be what we need to check next. So we need factors of negative 24. Then when we add them up, gives us a negative 5. So 8 and 3 seems like a good combo. I need it to be a negative 5. So negative 8 and 3 would be our good magic combo here. But again, I'm able to see that for these at this point. If you're not quite there, right, you're relying on that little guess and check chart on your scratch paper, use it. All right, m squared minus 8m plus 3m and minus 24. Row by row, column by column. Top row, m squared and negative 8m both share an m. Bottom row, 3m and negative 24 both share a3. So we have an m plus 3 factor. All right, m squared and 3m here both have an m. Ooh, negative here because the start block's negative. In this case, negative 8. So m minus 8. All right, those are our factors then for our denominator. So this whole thing is going to go in here for our denominator. And now we're going to put it all back together in prime factorization format. So m minus 10, m plus 3 on top in any order, and m minus 8 and an m plus 3 in the denominator. All right, to simplify, all we've done is prepare for the process of simplifying. We haven't actually done any simplifying yet. So now the simplifying part is to cancel any factors that are identical. So they both have an m plus 3 factor, which means this would simplify to an m minus 10 over an m minus 8. Please do not think that you can cancel your m's here. You cannot. And please do not think you can simplify like 10 over 8. You cannot, because this is one big factor. This is one big factor. You can't simplify individual terms. You can only simplify entire factors, so be careful there. All right, number 5. We want to simplify x squared plus 8x plus 12 over x squared plus 3x minus 18. All right, x squared plus 8x plus a 12 and x squared plus a 3x minus an 18. We want to factor. They're both quadratic, so we have to look for GCF in the charts. In this case, x squared plus 8x plus 12 does not have a common factor. So let's look to break this up. All right, we need factors of 12 that give us 8. 6 and 2. Again, if I'm not at the point where I can just see that, I need to go to my scratch paper and make a little T-chart, write my guess and check little table, which is perfectly fine. X squared, 6x, 2x, and 12. All right, top row both have an x. Bottom row both have a 2. Pull it out. We have a factor here of x plus 2. All right, first column, x squared and 2x both share an x. 6x and 12 both share a 6. Factor it out. So we have an x plus 2 times an x plus 6. When we go to put it all back together, that's the top only. All right, we got to repeat that process now for the bottom of the denominator. All right, x squared, 3x, negative 18. That's a quadratic. I have to look for GCF in charts. So be careful. There is no GCF, so let's try to break apart this 3x. We need factors of negative 18 that add up to positive 3. 6 and negative 3 seems like a great combo here. Again, I'm doing that in my head because I can. So if you need your little guess and check, right? If I need this negative 18 and I need a positive 3 and I do some options until I get to 6 times negative 3 is my magic combo, then go ahead and do that. All right, x squared, 6x, negative 3x. Oop, negative here. I'm going to pull that out right now. And negative 18. All right, top row, x squared and 6x both share an x. Bottom row both share a negative 3. So x minus 3 would be a factor here. All right, columns, we have an x and 6x and negative 18 both share a 6. So we end up with an x plus 6. Again, I'm moving through these pretty quick at this point because we've been working on them for now 3 weeks. So, whoops, sorry, that's the denominator. That's going to go back in there on the bottom. But again, if I need to go a little bit slower, that's fine. Do the scratch that you need to help you get to your completely factored version. All right, we're going to stack these back. X plus 6 and an x plus 2 in the top, in the numerator spot, and x plus 6 times an x minus 3 in the denominator spot. These ones are in common. They cancel. They eliminate. That's the simplifying part of the problem. We end up with a polynomial of x plus 2 on the top and a polynomial of x minus 3 on the bottom. Please do not eliminate the x's. Please do not try to simplify 2/3. This is one big factor. This is one big factor. You cannot simplify terms. You can only simplify entire factors, so be careful. All right, last one. X squared minus 11x plus 18 all over x squared plus a 2x minus 8. All right, let's break it up. Let's factor. These are both quadratics, which means we have to check for both GCF and chart method to get our factored completely version. All right, x squared minus 11x plus 18 does not have a GCF. So we're going to go right to our guess and check. So we need factors of 18. That would give us negative 11. Oh, 9 and 2 would give me 11. But I need a negative 11 and a positive 18. So remember, a negative times a negative would work too. So negative 9x and negative 2x would work also here. So that's our magic combo. Again, I'm able to see that at this point. We've done so many of them that I'm able to see that at this point. But if I can't, go to your guess and check table off my distraction. X squared minus 9x minus 2x and 18. All right, row by row, column by column. Top row, x squared and negative 9x both share an x. Bottom row, star block's negative, red block's negative. Negative 2x and 18 both share a 2, and it has to be negative because of our starred block rule. So x minus 2 is a factor here. All right, do the same thing with your columns. X squared over negative 2x there. They both share an x. Star block is negative, red block is negative. Negative 9x and an 18, I should be pulling out a negative 9. All right, which gets us to a factor down here of x minus None. All right, that whole thing's going to go back up and be our numerator, so let's do the same thing for our denominator. All right, x squared plus 2x minus 8, again, is a quadratic, meaning it has a degree of 2, which means we have to look for GCF in our chart. In this case, x squared, 2x, and negative 8 don't have a GCF, so let's go to our chart. We need factors of negative 8 that give us this positive 2 in the middle here, so 4x and negative 2x. Again, I can see that we've done so many of these at this point that I can see that our magic combo here is 4x and negative 2x, but again, if I need that guess and check table, use it. All right, x squared, 4x, minus 2x, and minus 8. Row by row, column by column, let's factor. X squared and 4x, they both share an x. Pull that guy out. Star block is negative, red block is negative, don't forget it. Negative 2x and negative 8 both share 8 too, and it needs to be a negative in this case. All right, same thing with our columns. X squared and negative 2x both share an x. 4x and negative 8 both share a 4, and it's going to be a positive, so be careful there. All right, this whole thing is now going in here for our denominator. Stack them back up. Simplify the ones they have in common. So an x minus 9 times an x minus 2 on top, x plus 4 and an x minus 2 on the bottom. These guys are going to eliminate because they have them in common. Meaning our simplified version, that would be x minus 9 all over another x plus 4. Again, this is one big polynomial. Please don't cancel the x's. Please don't try to do any simplifying with the negative 9 over 4. I cannot simplify terms. I can only simplify factors, so be careful. I hope that helps you finish up your work. I will see you guys later.